Oh, yeah, I should go in there and do a watch party. It's fetching. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. See, it's...
Shamans, we understand cause we are the Tech Shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome, yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
Hey, good morning, everybody. How is it going?
Did
you have a good weekend?
I had a good weekend.
Did you watch, did you get to go to the end game?
No, I was working on the yard.
The yard's more important than the end game? What's wrong with you?
We don't like going to the movies.
Don't you have kids?
People in there.
Then that's why we have kids. I have kids. I have kids to freaking do the freaking yard work.
Yard work.
Anyway, so hey, welcome to Tech Shamans. It is Monday.
Monday. We love Mondays.
It seems like a Saturday.
Yeah, it kind of does.
I don't know what it is. It's weird today. So
extended weekend.
Yeah, I guess that could be it. So if you've read the post and all that kind of fun stuff that we did, so today I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to turn myself around because I'm going to get yelled at here in a minute because I'm not doing it. So today we're going to talk to you about what you don't know. And you don't know what you don't know until either someone points out what you don't know or you find out, oh, I didn't know.
Or you break something.
Or you break something, right. And I have come to find out that people don't know how to use their own tech.
Oh, yes.
Their own videos, their own everything. So today, I'm going to sit here and we're going to tell you how to use your tech the right way because I got all these people that go, well, I want to do a video, or their excuse is, but you know what? I don't know how to use it. Or you get some that sit there and will say, well, I did a video once and didn't work. And the first thing I'll say is, well, how did you use it? And they're like, and then that blank look hits their face. You're like, oh, you didn't use it.
No, I turned it on.
Or they would come to you and get a brand new super fast computer,
Yep.
I mean, like super fast computer. And then don't use it.
No. Nor use it to their fullest potential.
Or the next time you see them, you go, hey, how'd that work for you? And you get that blank stare like, what?
Works great.
Well, yeah, you bought a computer. You bought a computer to use. Yeah, okay, so Rob just said in my ear, they play solitaire.
Exactly.
It's like, what? Come on,
or
seriously?
Facebook games.
Our Facebook games.
Yeah. My biggest thing is the Facebook game room that auto launches in the bottom right corner.
Yeah.
And if you have somebody who sits there and it gets detected by antivirus program and stuff, and it gets removed, oh, it's the end of the world.
Their world just ended. Oh my God. So anyway, we're missing a man. We're a man down today. We're
man
missing.
Down.
I feel bad because his mother-in-law's in the hospital. Now, see, for me, when that happened, if my mother-in-law would have went in the hospital, that was a celebration because that was a crazy woman. I'm just saying. My wife will probably get mad at me, and I'll get yelled at later. But I think she'll also agree that this was her stepmother. She was batshit crazy. So anyway, so let's talk about knowing how to use your tech. All right, and that's a big deal.
Yes.
So like this weekend, I was working over in Tampa to get the secondary studio going, and I ran into this guy that was saw that we were video guys. He goes, I just have a question for you. So what's the question? He goes, I got all this video on my phone, and what do I do with it? I'm like, wait a minute, what do you mean? What do you do with it? He goes, yeah, what do I do with it? I said, well, is it personal or is it for business? No. He goes, he was a floor guy.
Right.
He goes, I've done all these floors and I got all this, stuff. But the problem is everybody kept telling me to take pictures of it and take videos of it. I was like, correct. He goes, well, okay, now what do I do with it? I'm like, wait a minute. You've got all this footage on your phone. And he started showing me stuff. And dude, it was some killer work. I said, well, okay, do you have, let's start out simple. Do you have a website? Well, yes. I said, and those pictures are not on your website? He goes, there's really nothing on my website. I said, okay. So you're telling me your website really doesn't work for you? Nope, doesn't work for me. I said, he goes, I was told I had to have one. I spent like $4,000 on a website. So he spent the money. I went and looked at the website. It's beautiful. No pictures. So the people that built it for him didn't ask him for pictures to put on the website.
Oh, boy.
And he's paying like $400 a month
for maintenance?
For maintenance. For SEO, which we all know is just a load of shit, basically.
Right.
SEO's done one time when it's built. Other than that, I said, first of all, how long have you been doing it? Because about a year.
Oh, boy.
Blew my mind. $4,800 a year, right? And they've not called him or asked him for anything.
And he's paying still?
He's still paying.
Wow.
Because he was told he had to. You need this. I said, okay, so you have a Facebook page. He goes, I do. I said, not personal, but business. He goes, I do. I said, okay, so you have these, a Facebook page. I said, how much do you post on it? He goes, what do you mean? How much do I post? I said, well, how much posting do you do to your website? He goes, well, and then all of a sudden, I said, let me go look. I went and looked. He has 10 likes. So 10 people have liked this page. All right. It was created 2 years ago, and not one single post from him. Not one.
So his business page is just sitting there.
It's just sitting there. His website's just sitting there. His business page is just sitting there, and that is it. So I said, okay. So I was at a breaking point where I could stop doing what I was doing in the new location. So I said, all right, there's a McDonald's next door. I said, you got 45 minutes? He goes, yeah. I said, okay, normally I charge for this, but here's what I want. You're going to buy me lunch, and we're going to sit and talk. And I'm going to I brought my phone and my iPad, and he brought his phone. And I said, no, go grab a pen and a piece of paper because you're going to need to write some stuff down. He goes, okay. So we went next door, sat down at McDonald's, and I went through, this is what needs to be created on your website. So we started with his website first. I said, all this video that you've taken needs to be edited. But it was actually, it was kind of cool that this guy had no clue what he was doing.
Right.
But he shot it in the right. He shot it this way, like you're supposed to.
All right.
Right? I mean, he literally did the right things. His pictures were all this way, which I'm not real happy on Instagram, or I like my pictures taken that way. But so I said, so here's what you're going to do. You're going to send your SEO people a bill. He goes, what do you mean? I said, because they've not done their job. They've not asked you for assets to create, to finish your website.
Right.
And if they are doing SEO, which is really not what they're doing, but they're going to be doing, they're going to be sitting there. They've been charging you for all this work. So he says, okay. So I gave him a list. I said, send them a bill for $2,400, half of what they should have been doing. He goes, why half? I said, well, there is some maintenance stuff in the back of your website. It does look really good, but there's no gallery. Nothing of what this guy does. And then what they're going to do is they're going to give you a credit. And then you tell them you want a gallery, you want an image gallery, and you want a video gallery of all the work. And you want want them to make it where you can upload pictures.
Right.
So you're not at their beck and call. And this is not a Wix site. This is not a web.me or web.com, or it was a standalone website built, and I think it was WordPress. So I said, so they'll give you access, and tell them to set it up a gallery so you can drop pictures in there. It's very simple. I said, okay, and then I said, now the videos, you want to start your own YouTube channel, and I showed him how to do it. Literally sat there with him and did it. So, and I said, all these videos you want to put on YouTube now, and you want those embedded to your website,
Right.
in a gallery, in a playlist. He went, wow, they should have done. I said, they should have been having this conversation with you, not me, as I'm eating my Big Mac, drinking my soda, my large fry, and my cookie, right? So I got lunch out of it at least. So anyway, I got into, I said, I gave him a massive list just for his website. I said, now we're going to go to Facebook page. Right. Now, Facebook, because of what you do for a living, you should have a Pinterest or an Instagram. I said, either one, but I personally like the Instagram better because of the stories and the IGTV, right? So I said, now you're going to have them set up your Instagram account, which you already really have because you have a Facebook account because it's the same animal. I said, but what you need to do is you need to do a before and an after shot, which he did. He took befores and afters. So I took an example of a before and an after. And I said, now you can put these up raw, or you can have these people that you're paying $400 a month to make you some nice images. And that's what and he goes, really? I said, yeah. So I took his phone from him. We sat side by side, and I literally posted some before and afters and stuff like that on there. And immediately his likes started going up just by doing that and tagging himself into it.
Right.
Right. So it wasn't just his business. So I made him tag, because his Facebook page, he probably had about 3,000 people. So then I showed him, I said, and if you tag yourself, it's going to help you out. And this dude was just happier than a pig in poop. No one had ever done that for him.
No, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Which is really sad. I mean, it's we go out and we go out and buy these these phones, and then we'll go out and buy cameras and stuff like that. But then nobody ever teaches anybody how to use it. No, which is dumb.
It's very sad.
So, I know I've been looking over here a lot, but it really does. So if you don't know, and again, you don't know what you don't know until someone shows you what you do not know.
Right. And that's why over at our store we offer training. We offer people training time if we like to. You buy a new computer, or you have that nice iPad or something, right, and you want to know what it can do. And right, so, hey, sit down, write down a list of things that you want to know about it. Yep. And then come down, sit down, and we'll walk you through those solutions.
So you teach them how to use the piece of equipment.
How to use the equipment, how to use the software that they're trying to manipulate, and so that way they can feel more confident in using it. And a lot of times they only need 1 or 2 classes, and that's it.
Right.
Just an hour or 2 of time that somebody sets aside and shows them. This is how you email somebody. This is how you respond to an email.
Right.
I mean, you'd be surprised, people that don't know how to forward an email to somebody else, or even respond to one. They get one in and they're like, oh, what do I do with it now?
Yeah. Hey,
it's here.
They're asking me something and I have no idea how to answer it. I don't know.
So
just answer it.
Yeah, these are the things that we do help with. So that way.
Okay, so if I'm a person off the street and I walk in and I say, hey, this is what I want to do. I went over to Best Buy and I felt like they were double talking me. Mm-hmm. I felt like I was being sold something I really probably didn't need. So I was told by someone to come see you. This is what I want to do. This is how I want it. This is how often I want to do it. You'll go, okay, this is kind of what you need.
Correct.
And you make sure that they're not buying 2 years behind technology.
Yeah, make sure you're not buying, too far behind, and make sure you're not buying that, laptop that's made over at Walmart that cost you a couple bucks that, is not, you're not going to be happy with in 6 months, or even the minute you get it.
Right.
So, it all depends on what you plan on doing with your technology. It's just not, you just don't go buy something just to have it. You're not going to run your business on an Intel Celeron or an Intel Atom processor. And try to run QuickBooks and everything else on it, and expect it to to either last very long or even be, do any kind of performance,
Right.
that you would expect out of a machine. You're going to turn it on, you're going to sit there for, 3 or 4 minutes while it boots up, and then what? You got business to do, you got work to do. I always recommend a minimum of an i5 computer with at least 8 gigs of RAM if you're in business for yourself, or, you're running a company. That's bare minimum. Towers or laptops, doesn't matter.
So QuickBooks or software like that, Excel, those all take processing power.
Yeah, the QuickBooks, a database program, takes a lot of. Well, it mostly it's about data transfer speed. So solid state hard drive machines. If you want that database to launch quickly,
Right.
and efficiently, then you want something that has good output on the drive itself, and you want a processor that can go ahead and keep up with the information that's being either entered into it or being sent to it.
Now, see, there you go, folks. That just, that makes, to me, that's never been said better, because, I've seen a lot of people, they'll run down to Best Buy or to Walmart, they'll buy a $3.99 computer, then go home and load QuickBooks and Microsoft and the whole 9 yards, and then within 6 months it's so bogged down and they don't understand why it's not working right.
Exactly.
Just because it's not been, you bought, just because you go, oh, it's a good deal.
Yep.
See,
as a matter of fact, if you want to know, like for instance, HP,
right?
They specifically make laptops directly for Walmart, and which ones are which by when you look at the model number on the bottom.
Yeah.
You'll know which ones are Walmart ones because they'll end in WM for Walmart.
Really?
NR stands for no rebate, and then US is made in the US, but that's normally direct from HP or one of their other sources. But Walmart has their own product code at the very end of the if you flip up the laptop and look at the part number, the very end, WM means it was sold at Walmart. So
I did not know that.
NR means there was no rebates. There was a particular model, they didn't offer any rebates and stuff like that, and that's just it's silly stuff. But yeah,
you should post stuff like that.
Yes, I should.
That should be social media 101. Post crap like that, because I'll tell you, I didn't know that.
You have an HP with WM at the end, you got it at Walmart.
Or you bought it used from somebody who bought it at Walmart.
Oh yeah, somebody.
And 10 to 1, they're like, this is frustrating and I don't want to use this anymore.
Exactly.
Oh my God. So now, do all the computer people do that, or is that just Hewlett Packard that you know of?
I specifically know of HPs
that is absolutely.
But I'm sure.
Now I want to go. But I want to knock down Master Roshi. So, but that is, I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, see, you learn something every single day. But again, it's about knowing your tech. So, go back to the guy that I helped out over the weekend, right? So, 45 minutes, we sat down. Guy was cool enough. He bought me lunch, and it was just the fact that someone took the time to explain to him.
Exactly.
Right? So now I followed him. So I was one of his, I think, number 10 or number 11 whatever it was. Right? And I went back and checked, and last night he was up to like 68, 69 likes.
Oh, wow.
And people are commenting going, this is great work. Why have we, we never knew. They just didn't know. People didn't know. Again, you don't know what you don't know until someone shows you don't know.
Exactly.
Or tells you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know everything. So this weekend I learned stuff. I learned something about a piece of video equipment that I have thought went extinct. And I'm like, I didn't think that was around anymore. And because I didn't know. So, see, we all learn.
Oh yeah. In our field, you learn new stuff every day. I don't know everything, and we technicians, we talk to each other, other business owners, and talk about software or different problems that we may have seen and somebody else hasn't seen, and asking for solutions. Have you seen this particular problem? Oh yes, it's this particular issue.
Right.
And it's not something that's really easy to diagnose,
right?
Or you just get stumped. So, and a lot of times, technicians, as techs, we share that information because it just makes it easier and for everybody else. I mean, weird problems like somebody was just asking, hey, they have a printer they just got done setting up for a client, and it only prints in black and white. when they print something. But if they print to print test page, it prints in color, which is odd. And then, yeah, and that's, those are odd things that, we come across, I mean, you would expect it to print in color if it printed in color before, but it usually has to do with a driver issue. And, there's other technicians in there that have ran across the problem and, explained to him the situation, and, he was able to resolve it. So it's always good.
See,
everybody's always learning.
You got to, right?
Yes.
I mean, you got to. So my one of the first things I'm going to talk about is video. So all right, let's go back to images. First of all, if you're trying to put your images onto Facebook and Instagram, Facebook is trying to phase out. They want people to use more video than they do pictures, images, right? They want people to, and then when I say video, more than just an image that someone's thrown into a little capture program and thrown some music over.
Right.
They want moving picture video, not because see, everybody learned that video was stronger on Facebook than images, but people didn't know how to make video. So everybody went and got a cheap little software that, and you can get them on your phone. There's there's dozens and dozens of apps that do this. And then they'll put the image in there. They'll pick a song and they'll put a little title on it real quick. Or they'll have some goofy little thing where bubbles come up or fog. Or it's dumb. And then they make a video out of that, and then they throw it up on Facebook. And then in the beginning, Facebook sees it as a video. It just doesn't know there's moving pictures. Well, their algorithms are getting smarter. And now they're knowing that it's just a static image with music put on top of it to trick the algorithm. So Facebook kind of wants to move out of that world and wants moving picture. So in other words, talkies are a good thing. Remember the old days? Well, you probably don't remember the old days, but they call them talkies. So Facebook wants you to start using the whole video world because people like it, and it's more retention. Right. It'll get people to stop on the image faster than just putting an image up with some audio on top of it, or just putting a picture up. Period. So I'm going to double check and make sure we don't have anybody commenting yet. We got a lot of people watching, but no one say anything. Hey man, don't be afraid to say hi. Just say hi.
Tell us you don't know how to use your tech.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh. So now, if you can't hire an editor, right?
Right.
Okay. There are softwares out there that are both for the. We're both iPhone guys. I don't know why you wouldn't use anything but an iPhone, or I'm just saying. But anyway, so there is software that crosses that boundary, and I was trying to find it a while ago and I couldn't find it. But I think there's like 9 that are really solid that will cross that platform. But if you have an iPhone, there's always Rush from Adobe. There's iMovie, which comes with your phone.
Right.
I do believe, and it'll do a quick little edit, title, audio, the whole 9 yards. The problem is I have a ton of different types of video makers on here. Our tech keeps running in and out. I don't know what's going on right there. It's craziness. But there's plenty of software that will allow you to create a video. So because you really want, there's nothing weirder than because Facebook and Google and YouTube all have a tendency to pick your frame for you unless you tell it what frame.
Oh boy.
So you get this, and that's where the guy's pulling the camera away.
Yeah.
Or you get this weird look because that's how it just happens to start, right? So there are softwares out there that allow you to to do a fade in, a fade out. You can put a titling on there. And that's what you're going to do. If you can't hire an editor, then you can use this, or use your laptop or your computer. There's tons. Actually, there's a lot of free.
Yeah.
I even hate to say the word Windows Movie Maker, but it's better than nothing, in my personal opinion. You kind of want to make it look good, because that is the first opinion that people are going to get. If but I hate to say the words "just do it," but you do need to just do it because you need to be a presence. So don't be afraid to shoot a video, go in there. Even I mean, I don't know about Androids, and maybe Rob will chime in in my ear, but I know even in the iPhone, just in the video, when you take a video, there's an edit you can clip.
Right.
That's as far as you can get. You can't put titles, but you can at least find a good starting place and find a good ending place, and then let that roll.
And then upload that.
Right? Yeah. I look, if you're going live and it's some event or something like that, and or you feel that you really need to get your word out, prep yourself. Like I love these people that do this from their cars. I don't understand that. Why is everybody doing it from their cars?
So we can look up their nose.
Oh, yeah. That's not a good look, folks. Stop that. Seriously, stop that. Stop doing it from your car. And stop doing it from the bathroom. I don't want to see your stinking sinks.
I'm telling you.
Oh, my God. I think it's like, anyway, so, yeah, stop doing that. Get yourself I think that if you go back and look at some of the tech shamans, we have some cell phone holders and stuff like that we showed you how to go, what to get and where to get, how to get them. Get yourself a nice little stand. Stop shooting up your nose. I don't want to see that you're either got a cold coming on or you're doing crack. No, I'm just kidding. Or coke, that's what goes up your nose. So make it eye level. That's kind of a big deal. Everybody's got a laptop that does all this stuff. Raise the laptop up so your eyes are on the, let me see, right where my hand is there is where your eyes should be.
On the top of the laptop?
Top third. Well, in your camera.
Oh, okay.
So if you take your image and cut it in thirds, your top third, about right here, is where your eye level wants to be.
Okay.
You don't want a bunch of headroom, and you don't want to look like a midget that's coming up over the thing going, I'm here. But yeah, pick it up, level it up, because it can be done. It's not hard. And I mean, God, go get a couple of shoe boxes. Not hard. It's not like you're doing you're going to do a 20-hour presentation and it needs to be that stable. You're only going to do something for 2 or 3 minutes. So
what would you say, like if somebody was using their laptop, what would you say that the lid of the laptop should be?
Eye height.
Eye height.
So I'm connected here. So if I was using this laptop here, the laptop would sit about that high.
Okay.
So you're looking straight into the camera.
Right.
That's kind of, you don't want to be shooting up. You don't want to be looking down, and you don't want to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That camera should be about eye level.
Okay.
And then you can just, move the lid a little bit to kind of center yourself up.
Right. You just don't want it to looking up at you like that.
Nope.
Just doesn't make any sense.
Seeing that you got a bat in a cave, not what I'm interested in, because that's the first thing I'm going to notice. I'm like, oh, bat in a cave.
Yeah.
Just saying. Or, wow, there's a nose hair trimmer. They do make those. They're pretty good. I'm just saying.
Your ceilings are dirty.
Ceiling, yeah, exactly. What?
Did you clean that air vent
Look at that
today?
spider up on the wall over there. Oh, my God. But anyway, yeah, so do a little bit of editing before you throw it up. Same thing with your pictures.
Yes.
Do a little bit of editing. It's not a big deal. All phones they come with you can fix the photos.
Yeah.
Crop them, do them the right way. And that way they have the ability to, put what you're going to put out there. Now, if it's just for friends and families and you're taking, who cares? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about business. So, you just got to take, give a little extra time to what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right. So, and again, if you're looking for the right type of tech, you need to talk to a tech person. You can email me if you want, but I'm just going to say, I don't know, computers, you need to talk to Adam, because he'll set you more straight than I will.
Yeah,
me,
it's always fun when somebody comes in and the first thing they do is give me a price on a gaming computer, and then I have to stop them and right then and there and say, well, what game do you want to play?
Well, you have a client that does that, right? You have a client that you built a machine, and what does she do? Sims, right?
Yes, she played Sims. She plays Sims 2, and all
That's
the way
still
up.
a thing?
Well, she runs a website.
Oh, okay.
And she makes crafts, the different stuff, and she tells, different cheats and codes and stuff like that, and also resells, products that she's made, and she runs a whole community, and she had a custom gaming computer built with, that she would be able to play the game and stream it at the same time. So she had some pretty hefty requirements, even though it was only Sims, but she wanted to also stream that game at the same time while playing it, and doing other work in the background. So that does require, additional resources. So, you just can't go in and say, hey, Dad, I want a gaming computer, and your parents are going to run out and they're going to start going all over the place. And the first thing they do is they come into our store like us and just be like, yeah, I want a gaming computer, and we need to know, hey, what games you plan on playing? What does he like to play today? And let's find out what the max specs are for that particular machine and bring it up a little bit higher than that, and then go from there. Because if not, you're talking price rangings from $699 up to, tens of thousands of dollars, if you want to really get into it.
Right.
So, and we can't just pop a number out of our head. We need to know some more specifics of what you want to do. If the child wants to, or adult wants to just play.
Say adult
child, or anybody just wants to play.
It's an adult child.
Yeah, they want to play Minecraft, for instance. That's one thing. But if they want to stream that game and play Minecraft at the same time, watch another video and do additional things and have other things going on, then we need to know that information so we can customize that build for them.
Right. So it's I think Sherry Brink commented a while ago. They're the most frustrating thing on Facebook, and I think she's talking about the videos, the picture videos, and she's right. They are.
Yeah.
It's stupid, crazy how frustrating they are, but and you'll help them build in a little more of a life expectancy. So, I mean, I know I know guys that have built their computers, and by the time they got their rig going and they've got it in there and they're up and running, within 3 months they're out of date.
Right.
They're behind.
Right.
Already. Yep. So you kind of help future proof a little bit.
Yeah, we can do future proofing. Usually start with a good base, good power supply, good motherboard. Something that's expandable for later use, at least on the newer generation. You don't have to max out the RAM today. You don't have to max out the processor today. You can start small. You can use the onboard, graphics. A lot of times they're pretty good nowadays. They're not like the old days where you had no choice but to buy a discrete graphics. APUs are pretty powerful, and start small and then work your way up, and still have expandability. And don't have to dump a lot of money at first, and you can always add on and make it bigger and better, and keep that technology rolling.
See, because normally that's what I'm trying to run 3 different machines simultaneously. It's not working very well. It is kind of I mean, it's sad. I mean, we buy a cell phone today, and by the time you get it home, you're already working on last year's, the last release. So
I think it's gotten to the point where it's more about the hype, and being us with technology, us guys, we always want the fastest one.
Yep.
But it's gotten to the point where right now, I'm still running iPhone 7, and I'm still happy with it. Do I want the new stuff? Yes, I want it, but the problem is it's coming out so quickly,
right,
that you can't, every 6 months, you're like, do I buy it today or do I wait? Because does it make sense to buy the S or wait for the next generation that has more upgrades? So
I tell you, so I finally went to the 10 Max. I broke my 7, so but I'll tell you this,
big change,
huge big difference. Because I'll tell you, just the camera alone made it completely worthwhile. Yeah, it really did. It was like, okay, it made sense to do it, because we were at a networking group the other day, and I took photos straight to Facebook, without taking the picture first. It was just a snapshot of everybody that was there. And normally with my 7 and even the 8s, the image was good, but it wasn't really wide. It was more of it wasn't a 1-to-1. It's probably a 2-to-1. I took one, and it was literally looked like I had done a panoramic of the room.
Beautiful.
One shot.
Ugh.
I'm like, okay. And now that I love the commercial where the lady takes a picture of her kids and all the other kids, and then she goes in there and then she portraits the people out in the back just for her kid, and the mom goes, why'd you blur my kid out? And it was like, well, I didn't do it on purpose. I was just trying to make a cool shot. She goes, you don't like my kid?
Oh boy.
Okay, so I've tried that, but you got to shoot in portrait mode, and it's on the mags. And I took the picture, and then I can portrait. It's just absolutely, because you get to mess with your f-stop. It's really, really cool.
In September, we have 3 cameras. All right.
No.
No.
I waited. I purposely waited because I just didn't see. I know when the 8 came out, it was just for the camera only was a big deal. I kind of like, I think I'm going to, but then I heard the 10 came out, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna wait. But the 3 cameras, I just don't. Why? They're trying to keep up. Well, they're trying to keep up with the Galaxy.
No, I think it's more about the depth. I think what's really happening is Apple wants to start getting into AR. I think they want to do it better.
Well, you're going to have 3 cameras.
Yeah, so you're going to have that third one, and and I do know, from what's being said, that they're doing they're working on those new glasses that are supposed to be powered directly by the phone. So their AR glasses are supposed to be driven by the phone itself, and then have
really
Bluetooth, video streaming, or however they're going to do it to the unit. So the glasses would not have a processor in it. They're just going to be for audio and for video
through Bluetooth
only. So you're going to stream. I don't know if it's going to be Bluetooth or what technology they're going to use. But that's why they're going to be able to they're supposed to be able to make the glasses lighter and better. They bought a company that makes special screens, lenses,
right,
that are a lot better than what we have today. And we'll see. I mean, I think it would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, their augmented reality right now is pretty stinking good.
It is, but I think it can be better. Well, it can always be better.
It can always be better. I agree with that. I think everything's going to get, but it's going to get to a point in time. Then we just need to go back to having just a regular phone that just works like a phone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, you have a watch that's a phone.
Well, we got a watch that's a phone. But get ready. iOS 13 that comes out.
Yeah.
When it comes to the iPad, it's supposed to take your iPad and give you more of the functionality as becoming of a PC. So, well, not a PC, but a MacBook. So
really,
so you'll finally start seeing iOS start changing to be able to be more, more driven towards dual usability, because that's the biggest issue with iOS on the iPad. It's still just an iPad. That's the biggest issue. It does not function well as an everyday device for business people and things.
And I think the biggest lack that anybody ever sees is the lack that you can't have a mouse or a keyboard.
Yes, and I think that's where the Surface, Microsoft Surface Pro kind of took over that whole field for quite some time now.
Because that is an iPad technically.
Technically,
it's a tablet.
Technically it is a tablet, but it has the same specifications as a laptop. It is a fully functioning i5 processor or i7. It will have, I just had we had one in the store. Microsoft Surface Book is what it was. Surface Book 2. That had an i5, 8 gigs of RAM, 256 SSD.
Holy cow.
And front and rear facing camera. It was a full PC. And it was a tablet. Everything built on the
and it worked well.
It worked very well. Very well.
So that's how I don't understand. I mean, because I look at a laptop and I know the laptop RAM is different than a PC, than a tablet.
Right.
But to me, if it's going to be that small, why not make everything small?
Well, that's the way Apple is now today. Everything now, when you buy the new MacBooks, that is it. You buy that logic board, that motherboard that's in that machine, is everything in one. The CPU is soldered to the logic board. The RAM now is soldered to the logic board.
Really?
Even the SSD is in the logic board. So when you purchase a Mac, and say you buy the model with 128 gig SSD, that's it. You're stuck with 128.
Oh, really?
You are not upgrading. You might as well have spent the $200 more and upgraded when you had the chance, because now it's about selling the cloud services. You know, that's what it's about.
And see, the cloud services are great, but not for an industry like mine.
No. You if you were shooting raw data all the time and trying to upload, oh my goodness,
I'd kill it.
Yeah.
It would just
imagine if you were
destroy it.
sending it to, say, for instance, you wanted to use Amazon AWS or something and send it to them, and then you had to download that video. His bill would be huge.
Yeah, it'd be massive. Yeah, it'd be huge, huge IKEA, huge.
You'd be paying somebody.
But so to me, are they trying to do away with making the full PCs and full towers? Is that what they're trying to go to?
Right now, they're kind of like they're at a standstill. They can't really. They're making them smaller, using less power and everything. But they've kind of hit that 4 gigahertz range. They can't really make the processors much faster. So they're jamming more and more transistors in, making them lower power, adding more cores. But as we see these multi-core units, again, we're still stuck at the same speed rating across all cores. So,
and I know we're probably talking over people's heads at this point in time. Some
computer, it can't go as fast as it can. It's been sitting at the same technical speed for, I don't know, I'd say 10 years. I was running a 3 gigahertz about 10 years ago.
Wow.
Processor, I mean, obviously the processors were larger and stuff, and they're just making them smaller and smaller. But as far as going anything over, they haven't really. They just started going in the 4 gigahertz range.
Wow.
I mean, back in the day, we used to see, every new processor that came out was doubling its speed. The computer would double its speed, double its speed, double its speed. Now it's just like, let's make it smaller, let's make it smaller, let's make it smaller.
Yeah, so I remember. So when Mac first came out with, they're going to go to this trash can. I call it the trash can. I know it's.
Oh yes. All
right. So there's this little round, bulbous. I mean, it looks like a trash can.
Yeah.
Literally looks like a trash can.
It does.
Right. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my.
This is a computer, by the way. It's the trash can computer.
Yeah, it's called the trash
Very
can. I don't know if
powerful
Rob can find a picture of the trash can and show it to
We
everybody.
need to show a picture so people can understand what we're talking about.
But when they started, I'm like, and then I started looking at the internal. I'm like, oh, that's an overheating issue.
Yeah.
I mean, because when you do what we do, and when you're starting to crunch video and compress and render, those little things, and they overheated on a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people. It was not a pretty sight. I knew guys are like, oh my God, why did I buy this? Literally, I know he's a producer, pretty big producer. He's on Clearwater Beach, and the first thing he said is, I made a mistake. Why I got this? I know I wanted to be like everybody else, and it was really cool in the whole 9 yards, but it's killing me. He said he was overheating. It couldn't work fast enough. And then it just started bogging itself down to the point where, oh, there we go. There's the trash can. That's a tiny little thing. To me, you might as well just call it the Mac, not so mini.
I don't know. What? Oh, jeez. They're making things more and more difficult to work on, where it's to the point where you can't. You just about can't do anything yourself. Everything.
Well, they don't want you working on it.
They don't want you working on anything. They want everything to be proprietary. They glue about 75% of the items in is glued together.
Right.
iPads, iPhones, the screens, batteries, MacBook Pros, batteries glued in. I mean, there's really no reason for gluing them in. They're just trying
And
to.
only they have the solvent to release the glue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, seriously, that's what I hear. I hear a lot of people like when the So if this camera gets damaged, I can't go to I will fix it guy, because
Right.
they can't mess with the glass that's on the front and the back.
Correct.
So now you got to send it back,
Yep.
or you got to let your insurance take over and go, oh, I get a new one.
Well, there's been a big push for Apple to do the right to repair, for Apple to release, people's devices and let them repair them if they want to fix it themselves. Once they own it, they own it. But Apple's at the same time they have every right to be afraid too. And
Everybody steals their
right. It's not the general Joe Schmo who's stealing their stuff.
Right.
They're using overseas companies to produce their products, and that's where the stuff's being taken from. So don't really screw with us guys. We're not the ones causing the problem.
No.
We just want to fix it. People like their stuff, but then again, Apple's a hardware company. They want their stuff to, they don't make money if you don't buy the latest and greatest.
Right. I don't know. I personally would, even if I was smart enough to, and I'm not saying I'm not smart enough to, but I just know when I know what I don't know. And you don't got to point out to me that I don't know it. But I wouldn't touch this thing because of the glass.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And that's what kind of messed me when I first got it. The girl goes, the girl at Sons goes, now you realize the front and the back is glass. I'm like, really?
And that's why it's going in an OtterBox.
And I said, she goes, so you need to get protection on it ASAP. I'm like, well, I'll be dang.
Did you ever hear about the Daisy machine that Apple has?
Uh-uh.
It's a machine that can take apart. Let me see how many devices a day. It's a robot that literally can strip apart any Apple device. They developed, it's like robotic arms that they use for auto production.
Right.
They've retrofitted it with all the different adapters and pieces needed to take apart their technology and recycle it. So I'm talking right down to the screws, recycling the literal screws, and it takes them apart without having to destroy them. Their devices are machined in such a way they're just so intricate. When I take apart a Mac, I always am in awe as how they're put together.
Right.
The guy who sat there and thought the process on how they.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, we love it.
I don't think I want to mess with that ever.
Closer. It's so neat how they put their equipment together, and you can tell that it's so custom, and it's just
dirty.
They built this machine. They call her Daisy, and she can take apart thousands of devices at a time throughout the day, constantly.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. You can take apart an iPhone 6, iPhone 7, iPad. As she's configured whatever device comes into her to change out.
So it feeds in and says, hey, it reads it, goes, oh, this is what this
takes
is.
the screen off in a way
Dang.
and literally unscrews everything. And they separate everything out into different areas, and everything gets reused, which is cool.
That is very cool.
Very, very cool.
Leave it to Apple to build a machine that will fix their machines.
They built a machine to recycle their machine so they can build a new machine to resell to you so they can recycle it again and redo it again. Perfect. This is awesome.
Yeah. Oh my. But anyway, oh my God, I keep yawning. I'm tired. It was a long weekend. As you can see, I did a lot of work over at the new studio. But
yes.
So anyway, the point of today's show is if you don't know, and if you think you know, then go forward.
Exactly.
If you don't think you know and you're not comfortable, you need to go find a professional. I don't care who you use. Whether
Ask for
it's me,
help.
Adam, another tech, another videographer, another web guy, which is not here today, but you need to ask questions.
Take the time to learn.
Yeah.
Take the time.
That
Research.
doesn't mean you have to do it,
Right.
but you need to know what has to happen for your business to be successful when using assets in your tech. Again, I have IP phones that back, 10 years ago, yeah, about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, I actually had IP phones and I understood them and I could go install them. A long time ago, I installed phones. Long time ago. But now I don't want to. That's like, I know how to tear an engine apart, but I don't want to be a mechanic today.
Fun stuff is when they're all cloud-based.
Oh, no. See, now it's gotten, that's where it gets crazy. Because I don't know anybody, other than you, that really, truly understand. Now, I understand that the cloud is nothing but a server. It's just not your server.
Okay. Everybody, in case you want to know, the cloud is somebody else's computer that you're storing your stuff on. Perfect.
Yeah.
The cloud is just somebody else's computer.
You are beholden to them too.
Yes, your data, your information. If you run a company and you get one of those online services where like either
Carbonite,
QuickBooks Online, for instance,
right.
Or if you run your business point of sale system online, you're at their mercy for that data, and they will release the data to you. But it most likely is not going to be in a format that you're going to understand or be able to utilize somewhere else. So you need to be very careful.
Okay, so if I'm a business owner, say I'm a business owner under, I don't know, say 100 people. I got 100 people.
Yep.
I should actually probably have my own on-site server backup.
Either an on-site server or have something that, either a company that, is either really good,
right,
or make sure that your solution can grow with your company if you decide to get bigger. Because if you decide later on that, hey, this is not cutting it anymore and you want to grow, are you going to be able to with that particular software?
Right.
On either online, if you could have something that's local.
I mean, I'm okay. So I'm okay with using. I mean, we can't. There's too much data. We have way too much data to be able to use offline. But I mean, I would say that you would always want to have your, use the online stuff. That's great, but you need to have a local backup.
Yes, you need to have
just in case.
Local backup. Ask for that information periodically, just in case something ever happens. If they store your data, ask for copies of it once a year for disaster measures.
Right.
In case something ever happens, you decide to move your business or the company goes out of business. Are you going to be able to, replicate all your clients and all that information? Their orders, work orders that are outstanding, service tickets or whatever business you're in. Are you going to be able to duplicate all that information?
Right.
A year, maybe if you lost 6 months worth of work, you can still operate. What happens if you lost, your business has been running for 12 years and you lost 12 years of information? Then
right.
What? Can you maintain that business? Can you keep going on?
Yeah, to me, I'm old school. I want to be able to touch it.
Yeah.
I've just now gotten comfortable enough to order stuff online to have it shipped in that I've never touched. Normally, when I was either computers or microphones or audio or video, I have to touch it first. I got to touch it. I got to feel it. I got to play with it to make sure it works right. It's going to do what I need it to do, and then I'll buy it. I love the fact that there's a Sam Ash and there's a Guitar Center super close, that if I'm looking at a mic that someone said, you should really use this mic, and I'll call if they've got one, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to go in their booth and I'm going to test them.
Right.
So if they're good, I know they're good. I can hear that they're good. And I ordered something. I ordered a mic because someone said, look, it's a cheap mic, but I can't believe how good it is. It showed up. We put it together. Within 3 weeks, the biggest piece of crap I've ever seen in my life. So luckily I was under my 30 days, so I called Amazon. I want to send it back. It looks mint. We've never did anything other than test it. I sent it back. Amazon said, sure, man, but until I get to physically touch it and work with it, yeah.
So there goes another one. Test your tech. Make sure your tech works for you. Don't just go out and buy.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like this phone. I got a new phone, and I've been trying to wait. I waited and finally got it. And now that I got it, I've literally, the only thing that I don't like about iPhones is I don't care the passwords never come across. I mean, my Google passwords do, but my keychain passwords,
Yeah.
half of them are there, half of them are gone. So now I'm like having to remember all right, what's my pass? I have, how many in the last 2 weeks, forgot my passwords I've had to do because it didn't carry across in the keychain the right way.
Yeah.
So, it says back your phone up. Okay. I backed my phone up. And then I got on there and all the apps started downloading the whole 9 yards. And I tried to open an app. It goes, log in. I'm like, so I try to log in and I'm like, how it says, password keychain. I hit it. Nope. It's not there. I'm like, really?
That was a password keychain from 10 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Like the other day, I was going to buy a piece of equipment, a little piece of junk equipment. I went in there to do it, and it came up with my address from 5 years ago.
You know what usually causes that problem? If you get a new iPhone and you're using their regular 5 gigs of storage, what happens is people turn on, when they first set up their very first phone, they turn on the auto backup and stuff.
Right.
And it goes ahead and backs up your iPhone to iCloud. But the problem is it can't keep syncing because you only have 5 gigs.
Oh, I don't have that problem.
So after the first install of the backup, then it stops backing up and can't go any further. So
Right.
you don't get any response. You're not out of data, but you can't back up anymore.
Right.
So what ends up happening is when they get a new phone, they sign into their iCloud account and they say, it says restore from an iCloud backup. And you say, yes, you've just restored from the backup from 10 years ago that you originally created with your iPhone 4.
Yes, and I didn't, but I don't. I have I think I have the terabyte through Apple.
Okay.
So that was.
And it's not even that much.
No, and I called them up and said, "Hey, what's going on?" They're like, "Oh, well, yeah. Oh, it worked. It backed because right before I did the whole switch over, I did a backup." Mm-hmm. I'm like, "Well, it just doesn't make any sense." All right, everybody, we got 30 seconds left,
30 seconds.
and we will make sure if you got any questions, text shamans@webeamtv.com, give us an email, or hit us up on Facebook. We will get back to you ASAP. This has been a kind of a you don't know what you don't know until you don't know, and then someone tells you don't know.
Maybe they should email us their tech questions too.
Email your tech questions, please, because I got to keep him around, and it can't be me yapping all the time. So we got to go. We'll see everybody next week.
See you guys. Bye.
We got the plans cause we are the tech shamans. We understand cause we are the tech shamans. Dude, I got this cool thing to show you. Really, man? Yeah, it's far out and technical and stuff. Awesome, yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the tech shamans. Cool.